Upstate New York is really far away from anything considered saltwater. A trip like this is just going to have to take some time.
So I've read these books, right, about this marine life hotspot in the Gulf of St. Lawrence where whales and where seals gather in masses to feed on what the river, the St. Lawrence, the one that drains all of the Great Lakes, brings their way. So I guess the plan is to spend the next 3.5 months exploring this section of the Atlantic coastline and see what it's really like, man. From New York to Newfoundland. And you're coming with me. It's a trip you can think about in 4 parts.
The river, from the Great Lakes to Quebec City. The estuary, from one of the world's longest fjords up to the Mingan Archipelago National Park. The North Shore, a remote subarctic coastline with no roads for hundreds of miles. And my favorite, the magical island province, Newfoundland. It's about 2,000 miles, and the boat's going to need a few upgrades. She's a 1999 Hunter 340. A 34-foot sloop, only drafts about 4.5. Pretty spacious cabin for a boat this size. But she's definitely designed to be kept in a marina, though. A little fragile with no backstay, and I'm sure we'll get beat up by some weather at some point. But if you waited for everything to be perfect, you never go. I've rigged up an arch to carry some solar and get the dinghy out of the water, and we shoved off.
Ready, move? All the Great Lakes sit well above sea level, one flown into the other, Ontario being the lowest. They built locks on the St. Lawrence River to allow cargo ships to reach the proper level of the lakes. What that means is, if you want to reach the ocean, you gotta go down.
On quitte Cap-à-l'Aigle avec comme objectif le B.
Downstream of Montreal is all sea level. Tides get bigger further you go. And things look a little different.
We've been flying through the river kind of on purpose. I was expecting most of the cool parts of this trip to be after it got shot out into little salt water. And I think tomorrow is going to be the reward for all that hard work, man. You know, there's a fjord, like a real deal fjord on the East Coast, North America. Well, I didn't even know it existed. And we are officially 1 day away.
Welcome to Saguenay Fjord National Park. Definitely the most Lord of the Rings looking place I have ever seen. The fjord is home to 800-foot cliffs, 800-foot depths, 16-foot tides,
And best of all, there's whales.
Unreal, right?
Oh, these are the shots I've been hoping for. Yep. Those belugas are swimming downstream, but we're sailing up. I want to see where they're coming from. What kind of cool spot they call home. It's hard to see those kind of cliffs and not wonder, what's it look like from up there? It's usually something worth finding out. Now, the upside of the fjord is you can drive there. We met up with some family and had a lot of fun.
It would be difficult.
The downside? Yeah. It's time to leave the fjord. There's a greater adventure that's waiting up north. It's hard to believe, and it's kind of a little whiny to even say, but I don't know, man. I was feeling a little unsatisfied when we were leaving. That was the heart of the fjord. I mean, that was the ultimate funnel for all the marine life I was looking for, but those whales were sick, but I wanted a little more wild and a little more water. Turns out I didn't need to go far. The fog cleared up just before I got us anchored in this little bay.
which is where I finally got the ocean magic I was looking for. Believe it or not, all those whales and porpoises swimming around and under the boat, that was not the magic I was talking about. I only saw that when I got up in the night to pee and noticed something funny about the water. Bioluminescence. In this case, it's an algae. When there's any sort of motion or disturbance in the water, there's a chemical reaction inside of the algae, and that produces light as a byproduct. Or, as I like to call it, the good old ocean twinkle. Man, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I, without exaggeration, sat on the back of the boat and played in the water for a couple hours. Fantastic night, if you ask me. Now, I feel the need to address the fact that I'm not alone here. Those other people you see are my parents. They own the boat, but aren't reckless enough to take it to these far-off corners alone. So, I came aboard as captain for the trip. I've spent a lot of time outdoors and on the water, but not really any sailing experience. I was hoping it was something you'd figure out as you go. Now, you might think, 34 feet, huh? That's tight for a grown family. And you'd be right. But also, I enjoy sharing these wild experiences with the people I'm closest to. In some ways, it shifts from a trip of solitude into one of shared lifelong memories. We're about 50 degrees north latitude at this point, the equivalent of Vancouver Island on the west coast. It's beautiful, and very far away from national park crowds. We're anchored off an island that's got nothing but a lighthouse. You can tell things are starting to look pretty wild the further north we go. There's all this open, unadulterated shoreline that needs exploring. It makes a man want to build a little coastal cabin. There's plenty of fish and lobster in that water. Moose, bear, and deer in the woods. Oh, it's doable, man. Set up, kind of slink away and disappear into the landscape. I don't know what to call that phenomenon, but that feeling, it's got a hold of me pretty good. This next stop is a French town in the northwest corner of the Gulf. Cool place. But the standout feature was the water. What I'm now calling the home of the blues.
Oh, what is that? I don't know, it's huge. Oh, I missed that. Are you kidding me? You're good. That's still... Oh, I got that one. What's going on? Where did we look?
Who's watching who here? Come on now.
They do.
Blue whales, fin, minke, and belugas. Not too bad. Just missing one. The icon himself.
There's the tail. Dude. There's the tail. Oh, that was him. Dude, the tail. Where's the tail? Oh, there's the tail. I got it, dude.
The mighty humpback. And of course, his signature wave. Behind that fog lies Mingan Archipelago National Park. You can only get there by boat. It's my kind of park. It boasts funny-looking monoliths that make you feel like you're on another planet. But better yet, it's home to a special colony of birds. I'll say it, I'm a bird boy. I just am. That's a flock of semi-pollinated plovers, by the way. They're non-nesting shorebirds. Now, I could try to say I'm an ornithology enthusiast, but that's not fooling anybody. When you boil it down, that's fancy talk for bird boy. I'll tell you what though, this bird boy's excited because he's headed to Île à Perroquet, Parrot Island. But before we could even get there, we ran into a different kind of colony.
It's really peaceful here.
Yeah. What's your camera doing?
Recording. You know, I tried to warn you about those cool rocks that make you feel like you're on another planet. You know, toss me in a spacesuit, give me a little space helmet, feel like a little intergalactic explorer. The things you think about when you're sitting on a rock looking in the ocean.
Looking up.
It's a very peaceful place. But I can't. There's something on my mind, and I can't stop thinking about it. You know, just past Mingan, the only road in this part of the country stops. Right, there's 250 miles of shoreline with no pavement. And how are we gonna do when there's no more marinas to rely on for fresh water, for fuel, for groceries? And will I even like being that far out into that much wilderness? I don't know. I think I will, but will my questions even be answered? I don't know. I guess it's time to find out. Quebec's North Shore is so remote. It's so wild. It is so close to nature. And it's the place I long for the most. I feel lucky for just like having spent time there. I don't know exactly where Mother Nature is, but man, I feel like she could be living out there. I love this place, man. Oddly enough, I didn't film a ton. I did take the dinghy and my camping gear into the woods for a few days. I made a whole video about that on my channel. Picked blueberries, made campfire donuts with them, and woke up to the best sunrise of my life.
Yeah, originally I wanted to do the
Côte Nord, or however you say it.
but it got late.
Thank you. Unfortunately, there's only so much you can see in 100 days. And the North Shore wasn't even the final destination of the trip. Newfoundland is 120 miles away across the Gulf, and it looks like we might have a calm day to cross. When the weather permits it, you gotta go.
You wake up some cold day and find you're alone. You'll call for me, but
There it is. Hard to believe we're still 50 miles away. Must be big mountains up close. The weather stayed nice, but there's not enough daylight left to make it there before dark. Looks like we'll have to take the place in the morning. Man, I really hope it's as cool as I think it is. It was a lot of work getting here.
The mountains of Gros are not the only thing that drew me to Newfoundland. There's a huge culture around what lies below the surface. What we know as Atlantic cod, the locals just call fish. Aha! I bet you didn't know you were watching a fishing video, did ya? One drop.
This is Newfoundland cod fishing. 100 feet of water, on a little ledge, access to colder water. Just a Canadian Tire cod jig. Hunk of metal with treble hook on it. Wait until I hit bottom. Bounce it up a few times. See if something eats it. So I come down. Fish. Come on. Come on. Feels cod-like. Just. What else do you want? What a day. There he is. He's coming up. That is a Newfoundland cod right there. Or more likely, that would be fried fish sandwiches tonight. Wow. They're pretty little fish. Bigger ones out in the Gulf, but that's an eater of anything, any species right there. Wow, come on. Just spin the boat around, drop in, catch a couple more. Oh man, was that trip ever worth it? There we go. All right. Yeah, that wasn't reverse, was it?
I would like to point out, my father hasn't caught a fish in 2 years. So there's a lot on the line today.
Another reason why we're here.
Or if you're my father, there's nothing on your line.
It makes no sense.
This is the moment. The first time fishing in Newfoundland. I can see that blue line falling right down.
Blue line?
Are you on bottom yet?
No. I'm way over there though.
Yeah, we're drifting. I can bring the boat back a little bit. Look at that rod. Come on. Dude.
It's bent, but there's no, not like any other fish we've got, you know?
Yeah, but I got net ready. Come on, Dad.
Break the streak.
Let's break the streak. Oh, there's fish. That's a cod. Streak's over.
Streak's over.
Flip him in.
It's a beauty.
Oh, Dad. Oh, wow. Wow.
I love this place.
Yeah, I like this place too.
So what's the rule? If you hit, I'm reeling in, right?
Yeah, if one person hooks up, other person tries to get their line out of the way. No. How? You're on fire. What's going on?
Trout.
No, come on.
This is a fighter.
Trout's over. I'm trying to get mine up as soon as I can.
This is a fighter.
He's not a monster, but he's an eater. That's awesome, Dad. Another one.
Now I know what it feels like.
I want to get back down there. I didn't know you're catching all the fish. There.
Fire's next to me.
Oh, come on. Yeah, we're like, oh, I got a fish.
All right. I got a fish.
I don't know. No way. Doubled up? No way. Doubled up? Whose is bigger? Whose is bigger? Okay. Oh, I got a mackerel.
Wow. That is cool.
So I did get a better fish.
He's not longer.
What a day.
Absolutely the best day ever.
My father's done catching fish.
Caught high.
Limit out of cod, but we're into some mackerel. So we're just gonna keep having some fun and see what we can pull out of the water. So far, pretty good day. Turns out we're not the only ones fishing around here. You remember earlier when I was talking about seeing a mountain and needing to know what it looks like from the top? Well, that funny looking pile of rocks over there, that is the Earth's mantle. According to the signs they stick up in national parks, which I feel compelled to go over and read, this section of the mantle was pushed up to the surface by tectonic plates, right? Those suckers pushed these rocks up to the surface 500 million years ago. And ever since then, they've been this metaphorical fly on the wall, just watching Earth evolve, right? Through the Cambrian, through the dinosaurs, and now you can just go prance around on them. Oh, it's cool, man. It's a very neat spot. All right, so arguably, Gros National Park it's one of the most beautiful places on Earth. It's the second largest park in all of Canada. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site because of the tablelands. But curiously enough, it is not my favorite place in Newfoundland. No. That spot, it's about a full day's sail south of here. The 100th day of this trip will take place in the Bay of Islands. I mean, come on. It's not the most creative name, but it sounds sick. Anything to call it the Bay of Islands, it's going to be a cool place, man. I'm guessing part of the reason this trip felt so special was it's because we owned every single anchorage the entire time. I wasn't hiding any other boats through camera tricks. They just weren't there, dude. It was probably due to logistical challenges of a northern trip as opposed to tropical, right? It's hard to get anchored if you're in a couple 100 feet of water. There's challenges. What you're left with is a whole lot of solitude and a very cool feeling. Genuinely feels like you're one of those old-timey explorers wandering into new land just the way that they did. Huh. The power of the wind. Oh, I love it, man. A life of adventure seems like one worth pursuing. And hopefully it's one I can share with people that care enough to watch.
Oh boy, day 101? Nobody signed up for that. I don't know, man. I guess I'm here to tell you that the adventure's not really over.
My folks are flying out. I'm going to capture the boat down to the Bahamas. They get a boat in the Caribbean, and I'm not homeless yet, which is fantastic. So, I don't know why, but if you want to hear me ramble on for another minute, I'm going to ramble. So, I find this kind of content meaningful. It's fulfilling to create, and I feel like I hope it's fulfilling to consume. I don't know if I can survive doing this. I'd love to be the starving artist that does this. I need to get to that point. Under the recommendation of family, blah, 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 blah. Here's a Patreon. If you care to help feed me through content, right? It's a big deal. This is the best way to do it. Patreon lets you pitch in a couple bucks a month, and you get, you get a little bit. You get like early access to videos, and I did put together a little guide with every single anchorage of the trip if you are actually interested in trying to do something like this yourself or you're curious. Thank you guys. It means a lot to me that you're just listening. Still, this video should be over. This video is over. Go do something. Whoever you are, thank you. Take care. And I'll see you soon.
Oh no, we gotta go.